Hello everyone, this is the Mgtow Cowboy. Greetings and salutations. Today I want to bring you guys a video that is a commentary video. I am going to mirror a video by Gentleman Knight. Now I would call this a shout out video, but I've already shouted out Gentleman Knight, so I guess whatever. I guess I'll shout him out again. Yeah, hey, what's up everyone? This is Gentleman Knight's video. Check him out. Go to Gentleman Knight's channel, blah blah blah. But no, this is really just going to be a commentary. So I spoke with Gentleman Knight yesterday, and I wrote to him, hey, I really liked your video. Can I possibly mirror your video on my site? I'll give you credit for it. He's like, yeah, sure. So I've been planning to make a video like this, but Gentleman Knight kind of beat me to the punch. I find this topic extremely fascinating, and I claim to have a little bit of experience about this topic in my life. Okay, so what is the topic? The topic of this video is the psychological dynamic that occurs between different types of men, wherever, at the workplace, in your social life. Gentleman Knight concentrates on the workplace, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is it also happens, in other aspects of your life. And the dynamic we're talking about essentially is the difference between how some men will actually stand up for what is right, what is true, while other men, they will not. They'll go along to get along, and they'll go along with bad female behavior. In fact, I'm not even describing it properly. I think maybe a better way to put it is to bring up the idea of gynocentrism. There are different types of men. There's two different types of men. Of course, there's many different types of men, but there's two in general. When it comes to this dynamic, there's two types of men. There's men who put up, who go along with, and or enforce a gynocentric system, whether at work or on the street, whatever. And then there's men who don't. And of course, Mgtow men are men who don't. But we Mgtow men, we have to watch out because there's a lot of men like this, and I know this from personal experience. I've lost friends, very very close friends over this issue, where as I became a teenager and then a young adult, and then now I'm a full adult, I have lost several friends, men who at the end of the day they will throw me under the bus to curry favor with a woman. They'll they're gynocentric. They're gynocentric. That's really what it is. It's gynocentrism. They're always looking out for women. And Gentleman Knight just talks about it, and Gentleman Knight poses the idea: is it just massive brainwashing, or is it also maybe possibly just an alternate? Is it also maybe possibly just an alternate mating strategy? And I find that extremely fascinating. I don't know what to think. Maybe it's both. So, but anyway, without further ado, let's get into this video. This is The Office White Knight by Gentleman Knight.
Realizing that they're not going to compete in the classic, as stated, male hierarchy, so they're creating their own version of it.
Mm-hmm. Sure, that's the creative element. Sure. Well, we asked earlier, what's the motivation of these pathological guys who are out there like bolstering up the feminists? Yeah, well,
they don't compete any other way.
They don't compete. They figured out how to compete. They compete as allies, let's say. Very sneaky.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Sneaky.
Okay, that was Joe Rogan and Professor Jordan Peterson. Notice how Professor Peter. Notice how what were the two adjectives that Professor Peterson uses to describe these types of men? In this case, he was talking about male feminists, which is basically the same thing. He calls them sneaky. He calls them sneaky, and he calls them pathological. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you want to go in that direction. Pathological? So they're mentally ill? I don't know. Maybe they're not mentally ill. Maybe they do it on purpose. Maybe it's not mental illness. Maybe it's evil. So, but I'm just dropping that idea right now.
Hello everyone, Gentleman Knight here. I'm back with another video for you guys today. I want to welcome you all to my channel. I want to thank all of my new subs for tapping that sub button. Some of my long-time subscribers, I want to thank you guys for your support. Let's get into this. This video is going to be a bonus video since it's a holiday weekend. I'm actually cranking out 2 videos in a weekend. Wow. But a subscriber of mine by the name of William Miles commented on my Horrible Bosses video. He requested that I make a video about the dangers white knights pose to Mgtow men, and I assumed that he meant in the workplace because he left that comment on my Horrible Bosses video. So let's get into the topic at hand, and that's these white knight blue pill beta cucks. Because yeah, that's where the white knighting is coming from. It's coming from the blue pill beta cucks, and I think I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about the danger. I know what you're speaking of. You know, and as a man, all men have the have a natural instinct to protect women. You know, if I saw a woman getting beat up, I'm definitely going to at least yell and tell the guy to stop. I definitely might even approach the person. You know, I'm not going to sit there and let a woman get her ass beat by a guy, right? That's unnatural. But you're talking about the white knighting and the defending of women and keeping their bullshit going in the workplace. They didn't keep these jobs in management that they don't deserve. I know what you're referring to, and that is very frustrating. With these men, let me see if I can come up with some tips just off the fly with dealing with these men. So the first thing you want to do with these guys, because you're not going to be able to reach them, do not try to red pill them. That's the first piece of advice that I'm going to give you. You're not going to reach these men. Do not try to red pill them. Do not try to red pill them. Do not try to point anything out. Don't say anything bad about women around them. If there's a woman in the office and she's a terrible employee, do not point that out. Do not co-sign on anyone else's. So if another woman says, hey, don't you think Kathleen is terrible? Don't say anything, don't agree, don't say anything about, just crack a little joke on the side, but don't agree. Don't say, yeah, she's terrible. Don't say anything bad about women around them, period. Even if you're co-signing from another woman. Don't say nothing.
Okay, just another quick comment. I don't really have much experience about like co-signing with another woman and like trash talking one woman to co-sign for another. I don't really have much experience with that, but what he said just prior to that, I completely agree with. You cannot reach these men. These men are essentially, we almost need to see them as like our enemies. They would just as quickly run to HR and tell them that we're speaking bad about women, or we're woman haters or something like that. They're so brainwashed. Or at least what I think, again, I think like half of them are brainwashed, the other half are doing it on purpose in order to curry political favor. Some of them are so brainwashed, they are offended at the idea that you could even criticize a woman. And it can go south real quick. You can become a pariah at work, so don't do it.
Bad about women, right? Try to avoid conversations about women or keep them very short and one-dimensional and shallow as fuck. Have a very shallow conversations with these blue pill beta cuck white knight men, because what they will do is whatever you say to them, they will use that against you. They will repeat it back to some other woman. And some women, right there, especially if they're a feminist, if you work in an office or anything like that, so if you repeat that shit, if you say something to them, they will repeat that shit. They're so stupid. They will repeat that shit around them. And then, right, because they're card-carrying feminists, they're gonna take issue with what you said. They're gonna take issue with that. They're gonna pick apart what you said. They're gonna know. They're gonna say, oh well, what's the basis of him saying this? And they're gonna go. They're gonna start fucking with you all of a sudden. They're gonna say, hey, he's single too. Yeah, he's one of those chauvinists. He's one of those people. And then you're gonna be outed. So you need to. Do not talk about women. Do not try to red pill them at all. Keep any discussion about dating, relationships, and women shallow as fuck. If you're in an environment where you're dealing with a female manager or boss, there's going to be a white knight above her or below her that's doing all her work and covering up all her mistakes and errors. There's going to be somebody there, right? There's going to be somebody there doing that, right? And you're going to be dealing with these white knights. You're going to be dealing with them. You're going to be dealing with these guys in the workplace, blue pill beta cucks. They're going to be trying to go out and say, I've had them sabotage my work and say, hey, this is what GK did, and and I've had to send emails, hey, I did not do this. I sent this to you, and you made some revisions. I did not do this. This is not a complete and accurate picture of my work. I've had to do that with some of these blue pill beta cucks, because they'll throw you under the bus because you're a...
What did he just say? This is not a complete and accurate measure of my work? Okay, so I've seen this before. I've absolutely seen this where these men, he just said it, they'll throw you under the bus. They will frame you. They will try to ruin you at work. They will try to get you in trouble at work. Not because you're actually incompetent, but because you are competent and they are incompetent, and they want to see you lose, and they know that you don't go along to get along. You don't put up with female bullshit, and so they want to ruin you. I have absolutely experienced that.
You're strong, you're self-reliant, and you're competent. You're a man. So they'll throw you under the bus to get brownie points from these crazy feminist bitches who don't even give a fuck about them, who really want to sleep with you or hang out with you, because it's insane. It's insane. I'm telling you, I've dealt with this. Yeah, they definitely pose a significant danger to us.
Okay, he just brought up another issue that I have also had experience with, and I can also concur with him. These men, the women know that these men are like pussies. They know that these men are purposely... These women, they understand that these blue pill billies, they're purposely trying to curry favor with them, that they're kissing their ass. And it doesn't win them any brownie points. As Mgtow, as Gentleman Knight just said, the women actually come to disrespect these men. However, at the same time, the women respect us. They respect Mgtow type men. They respect men who don't put up with this shit. And they're sexually attracted to us. But I don't know, I almost think of it like a triangle. Like, so you got the women, and the women are sexually attracted to the masculine men. The masculine men want these beta blue pill pussies to be like us, but the betas can't be like us, so they chase after the fate. They chase after they chase after the validation and the acceptance of the women. So it's like these losers, these pussies are chasing the women are chasing men like us, and we are trying to chase the I don't know how to put it. No, I'm telling you, he's totally true. These women are totally repelled. They're totally repulsed by this guy right here. These pussy ass guys. But this guy, he doesn't know that. He thinks he's gonna get into her pants by kissing her ass. But it's not how it turns out.
As into sabotaging us, throwing us under the bus, just to score brownie points. For these crazy bitches don't even give a fuck about them. They despise them. Behind their back, they talk about them. They call them all kinds of names. They call them gay because they talk like women usually. They talk like women. They talk like women, and they try to do things to appeal to women because they think that's going to make those women like them. So they act like women as well because they think that's what they need to do to keep women around and get with a woman. So these women when they're no longer around, I've heard the conversations that, and they diss these men big time behind their backs, man. They talk about their sexual prowess, how they can't get a woman off.
Okay, I don't have any particular experience with this, but again, just to reiterate, yes, from my experience, these women, they are able to figure out very quickly that, if you're a masculine a man who's very adept, you're very competent at your job, and you're not going to put up with any crap, they're going to respect that. They're going to respect you. At the same time, these other men, these like blue pill simps, these white knights on the job, the women don't like them. They use them. They have no problem allowing these men to be used, but they never want those men. They want us. But this guy doesn't understand that because he thinks I don't know. I don't know what he thinks. Sometimes I think like he's just so brainwashed that he thinks that how he's acting is right. But I think maybe some of them are not that brainwashed. They just do it anyway because they think that essentially, as Professor Peterson pointed out in the very beginning, it amounts to what they think is a winning mating strategy. That they're gonna get the girl to touch his pee-pee. He's gonna get some action if he does this. But that's not how it works. It's the exact opposite. The woman is actually disgusted by him.
That they barely can last a few minutes. That they have a small penis. That they stink. That they're only good for eating pussy. That's why their girlfriend made them grow out a beard. Yes.
I don't know. I don't know about that stuff.
Them. They can't give them those back shots. So yeah, they say, hey, just eat my pussy and grow a beard out because it feels better when you have that beard.
I don't know.
At the White Knights, I thought that how current men act today, with how the glasses, the plaid shirts and just talking all effeminate. I thought that was a product of social engineering. I didn't think that men naturally were conforming in this way so they can have access to women. I didn't think that this was like some kind of mating strategy that they were doing, but that makes sense as well. If they're not being social engineered, both explanations make sense. Because if you're somewhat of a rugged individualist, if you are masculine, heterosexual, and you're in the workplace, and people can sense that, people can see that you're self-reliant, you can hold your own, you can think for yourself, right? That's a huge problem. It's a huge problem for the beta pill white knights, right? And once you compound that you're single, that's going to raise an eyebrow. People are going to wonder, like, why aren't you in a committed relationship if you're so capable, you're so competent, right? Why aren't you in a relationship? So that's what the White Knights issue is. And to them, all women are capable and competent, regardless of what they're seeing. And that's because they've been dumbed down so much, either through social engineering or either through their strategy to try to mate. But that's the thing that you're going to be running into. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that a lot of these White Knights are, these blue pill beta cucks are sexual deviants. That's what they are. They're sexual deviants, right? They think about sex all the time. Everything in their life is centered around trying to get their dick wet. Everything, right? So that's what they're doing. So they're agreeing